It started with a sunset, a quiet, golden evening, the lake like glass, my feet dangling off the dock I'd worked half a decade to rebuild. My sanctuary. Then she showed up. Flaming red lipstick, clipboard in hand, HOA badge swinging like a sheriff's star. "You can't be here," she barked. "This dock belongs to the community." Except it didn't. I blinked, still holding my coffee. "I bought this property last year. The dock's on my deed." That didn't matter to Karen. Nothing ever does. Not facts, not logic, not deeds. What followed was a 911 call, a screaming match, and a ridiculous declaration that her son had gifted my dock to his girlfriend as a romantic gesture. Yeah, that happened. But what she didn't know? I record everything. And this dock? It had a history. And a surprise twist she never saw coming. Stick around, because by the end of this story, Karen's going to wish she'd stayed on her side of the HOA lines. And maybe her son will think twice before giving away other people's property like it's a Valentine's Day card. I moved into the lake house after years of saving, fixing up busted rentals and dreaming of mornings by the water. The dock was rotten when I bought it. I rebuilt it with my own hands. 3 months of blood, sweat, and Home Depot receipts. The HOA president, Karen, introduced herself the day I moved in. "We like to keep things orderly here," she said, eyeing my moving boxes like they were radioactive. Her nails were sharp red like warning signs. At first, she kept it civil, just weirdly nosy. Asked if I planned to throw parties. Said I should get approval before modifying shared spaces. "It's not shared," I replied. "It's on my parcel." Her smile didn't reach her eyes. Then came the notes. Folded pieces of paper tucked into my mailbox. HOA citations for improper dock materials and unauthorized structure. I sent back copies of my permit and survey. A week later, a girl in a bikini showed up. I didn't know her. She and her friends popped champagne on my dock. When I asked her to leave, she laughed. "My boyfriend gave me this dock." Her boyfriend? Turns out Karen's son. I confronted Karen. She looked me dead in the eyes and said, "That dock was never yours to begin with." That's when she called the cops. I stood there with 2 officers asking if I had proof of ownership. Oh, I did. But this was just the beginning. You'd think the cops would have laughed her off. But no. Karen met them at the curb like a stage mom, crocodile tears and all. "She's trespassing. My son gave that dock to his girlfriend, and now this woman is harassing them." One officer pulled me aside, almost embarrassed. "Do you have proof this dock is yours?" I handed over a copy of my property survey, the notarized deed, and a photo of me rebuilding the thing, complete with a time-stamped Instagram post and a comment from my contractor saying, "Looks solid." He nodded. "You're good." Karen's eyes turned into little red coals. "I'll be contacting the HOA. This is not over." And oh, she meant it. The next morning, I woke up to a bright orange sticker on my front door. Violation, unapproved structure, immediate compliance required. The HOA had convened an emergency board vote, without notifying me, and declared my dock a communal enhancement that unjustly blocked lake access. I appealed. Their response? A $500 fine, due in 10 days. That week, a truckload of gravel was dumped in my driveway. No label, no invoice, just a heap of rocks and a passive-aggressive note. "Thought you might need some shoreline erosion protection." From your friends at the HOA. It wasn't just annoying anymore. It was surreal. Then came the sabotage. Someone unscrewed the bolts under the dock's ladder. I caught it just in time. One step and I'd have gone straight into the water. No way to prove who did it. But come on, Karen's kid and his bikini-clad entourage had been out there the night before, blaring music and using my dock like a private club. I installed cameras. Karen sent a cease and desist letter, claiming I was illegally recording community members. I forwarded it to my attorney, who promptly laughed. Meanwhile, the girlfriend, let's call her Tiffany, with an I, filmed a TikTok declaring her boyfriend's dock surprise and tagged the location. It blew up. Locals commented, "Isn't that Jessica's dock?" My name trended locally. More drama, more ammo. One day, I came home to find Karen on the dock, with a clipboard, a measuring tape, and 2 HOA board members. "We're assessing its resale value," she said, like that made any sense. I didn't say a word, just walked back to the house and pulled out the folder. See, what Karen didn't know, or maybe forgot, is that this dock wasn't just legally mine. It had extra protection. The previous owner had gotten it, grandfathered in as a private asset during a county rezoning dispute, meaning the HOA had 0 jurisdiction. I had paperwork. I had timestamps. I had photos. I even had an email from the city planning office, confirming it. And I had a plan. But before I could execute it, Karen hit back, hard. She filed an official HOA complaint claiming I had verbally assaulted her, said I threatened her with legal violence. Which, first of all, isn't a thing. Second, what does that even mean? Did she think I'd sue her with a slingshot? I was summoned to an HOA disciplinary hearing. At this point, my neighbors were getting curious. A few had been passive observers, but the noise, the fines, the gravel dump, it was wearing on everyone. And then, the twist of all twists. Karen went live on Facebook. A full teary-eyed stream, claiming I was a menace to the community, trying to undermine our values, and, wait for it, that I had seduced her son to steal the doc back from his girlfriend. I watched it 3 times just to make sure I wasn't hallucinating. The comments? Pure gold. Karen, is this satire? Lady, it's a doc. Chill, ma'am, you can't gift what you don't own. Even the local neighborhood page lit up. But I wasn't done yet, because I knew something. Karen didn't. Her own HOA bylaws had a clause she overlooked. One that would become the noose she accidentally tied around her HOA presidency. And it was time to pull it tight. It all started with a single sentence buried on page 12 of the HOA's bylaws. One that read, any HOA board decision involving private property or structural disputes must include the affected homeowner in a scheduled meeting with no fewer than 7 days' notice. Guess who never got that notice? Yep, me. I printed it, highlighted it, and paper-clipped it to every legal document I had. My deed, the county letter about grandfathered dock rights, photos, the permit. Then I filed a formal grievance and requested a full HOA audit. That's when the emails started coming in. Turns out Karen hadn't just picked a fight with me. She'd been ruffling feathers for years. Overgrown grass citations, fining an elderly couple for wind chimes. One neighbor, Tony, got fined $150 for leaving his kayak too close to the communal grass line. I invited Tony over, then Alice, then Mark and Gina. Within days, we had a coalition and a quorum. Here's the kicker. HOA elections were just 2 weeks away, and nobody had run against Karen in years. Until now, we made flyers. We shared photos of the gravel dump, TikToks of Tiffany declaring the dock as her own, and my side-by-side comparison of deeded dock ownership versus Karen logic. Our slogan? Take back the dock. Take back the neighborhood. We even held a barbecue on my lawn. Guess who showed up uninvited and tried to call the cops? For an unpermitted gathering? Right, Karen. Only this time the officer was the same one from before. He took one look at her, smirked, and said, "Ma'am, this is private property. Move along. That clip?" Oh, we posted it. Over the next few days, the cracks started showing. Karen's son stopped showing up. The girlfriend deleted her viral video. Rumors swirled that Karen had borrowed HOA funds to beautify her own backyard, including a suspiciously new hot tub. We requested the books. By rule, they had to show us. 27 pages of eyebrow-raising transactions. We held a public HOA meeting in the community clubhouse, standing room only. Karen showed up late, looking rattled. She tried to maintain control but couldn't finish a sentence without someone interrupting with, "Can you clarify where that $212.50 for consulting actually went?" And then, my moment. I stood up and read aloud from the bylaws. Section 9. Subsection B. Any board member found to have misused funds or abused authority is subject to immediate removal pending a 2/3 community vote. We voted. She was out. Karen stood there stunned. Even her own allies had turned. Tony patted me on the back. Alice brought cupcakes that said justice in blue frosting. I walked back to my dock, slid my chair into place, and cracked open a cold drink.